Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's baking blog. Today I'm going to make some peppermint patties. I had intended to make these before Christmas, but I ran out of time. But I think they're good at any time, and they'll be good if you're having a small get-together, if that's permitted in your area, on New Year's Eve or something like that. So it's actually a simple enough recipe. It takes a bit of time because although there's no baking, you do have to keep chilling the peppermint mixture. You chill it, you make the peppermint paste, then you chill it either in the freezer or in the fridge for a while. Then you have to coat it in chocolate and chill it again. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's not very much effort. So I'll go on to the ingredients. And for the peppermint paste, I have 260 grams, which is 2 cups plus 3 tablespoons of icing sugar or confectioner's sugar. I have 21 grams, 1.5 tablespoons of softened butter or room temperature butter. I have 2 tablespoons, 30 millilitres of double cream. You could use evaporated milk or you could use condensed milk instead of the cream if you have those open. Then I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract. That's pure peppermint extract. If you have peppermint oil, then that tends to be much stronger, so you might only want to use about 1/4 of that amount. And I'm going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. So that's for the peppermint paste. And then to coat in chocolate, I have 250 grams, which is 1.5 cups of dark chocolate, and these are chocolate calettes. If you have a bar of chocolate, just chop it up very small. I don't think chocolate chips melt in quite the same way, but they would probably work. And then I also have 1 tablespoon of butter to go into that chocolate as I melt it. So I'll put those to one side and we'll go on to make the paste. And you can do this by hand, but it's a lot more work, so I'm going to do it in my stand mixer. And I'm going to put the icing sugar in without making too much of a cloud if I possibly can. And then into that I'm going to add the butter, and then the teaspoon of peppermint, and the 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's just to give a little bit of alternative flavour. You could leave that out if you don't want to use it. And then the double cream as well. And I'm simply going to mix those until they form a very thick paste. And I'm going to mix it on slow, at least to start with, and I will speed up a little bit once the icing sugar has begun to become incorporated. So as you can see, that has formed a nice paste, and that didn't take very long at all. So what I'm going to do is take that out of the bowl and put it between two sheets of parchment paper. And I'm then going to roll that out. As you can see, the icing sugar makes a bit of a dust cloud when it starts mixing. So, and I'll form it into a sort of disc. I'm going to roll that out between the two sheets until it's 20 centimetres in diameter, something like that. But really it's until it's about 5 millimetres or a quarter of an inch thick. And with that rolled out like that, I'm actually going to put that into the fridge and chill it for about an hour. You can put it in the freezer if you've got room in the freezer and chill it for 15-20 minutes. That would be good enough, but I'm going to do mine in the fridge for about an hour till it firms up, and then I'm going to cut it out into little circles using a 1.5 inch or 4 centimetre cookie cutter, and they will be the little peppermint patties which will get coated in chocolate. So I'll be back when this is chilled and we're ready to cut them out. So I have chilled my peppermint paste now, and I'm going to cut out my rounds, and I'm going to put them back onto some parchment paper. Because I'm going to chill them again while I melt my chocolate. So I've cut those out, and I've cut out a few more as well, and I'm going to put those back into the fridge, and I'm going to allow them to chill again until they're quite firm to the touch, because we're going to have to dip these in hot melted chocolate, or at least, yes, hot melted chocolate, and they will very quickly start to bend and collapse as they're in the chocolate, so we want them as hard as possible. So once they're firmed up, I will take my chocolate and I will put that into a bowl with the butter, and I will put that onto a bain-marie or a double boiler, a pot of simmering water with the chocolate in the bowl on top, which I will stir as it melts until it's a nice smooth and totally melted texture. You could do that in the microwave, but I will do it in the bain-marie. And then I will come back and we will dip these in the chocolate to finish them off. So I've melted my chocolate now, and I've taken 3 of my little discs out. I'm keeping the others chilled until I need them. And all I'm going to do is to put one disc onto a fork and dip it in the chocolate to coat it. Then I'm going to pick it up and let any excess chocolate drip off. And then I'm going to put it onto some parchment paper like that, and do the same with all the others. So with those peppermint patties now coated in chocolate like that, they need to chill again. So I'm going to put them into the fridge and I'm going to chill them until the chocolate has firmed up, and then I'll come back and we'll have a taste. I chilled the peppermint patties in the fridge, and I've actually given half of them away, or more than half of them away already, so I only have a small plate full left. But they chilled quite nicely, as you would expect, and I've cut one open and this is what they look like. So very, very good, I think. I'll have a taste. You've got the firm crunch of the chocolate and then the softness of that peppermint, well, I'm going to call it a peppermint cream inside. Very, very tasty indeed. This is actually a simple recipe. Takes a little bit of time, but it's very worthwhile. So that's going to be it for the recipe, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for this video, and I'll put a link that will take you to a link for this recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.